or the legend of Alexander the Great great because he led his troops. Nothing inspires a battalion more than when the leader comes off of his high throne and puts his ass right in the front line of the first group going in. I see that. I got that
Hey, I
story.
witnessed I witnessed that firsthand in the military when I had some people that were above rank of me trying to set me up for failure. And then I watched someone that was above rank of them chew them out for watching them set me up for failure. That's when I learned what real leadership was about, and how you're not supposed to use it as just like, oh, I'm just going to use the lower ranking people as a pawn in this
Hmm.
system.
Right.
There's always going to be someone above you. So
Well,
It's called
it's
valor versus stolen valor, and you
I
got a
got
lot of it
something
right.
going
for
on a
you.
lot of places.
I got a story for you. And for you football fans, this is really something you're going to love. Tom Brady. I was there in 2002, right after they won the Super Bowl in 2001. I was at the Jets in 2001, and then I came over to the Patriots in 2002. So they had just won it. We were playing Monday Night Football against Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, it was a tight game, barely won the game. But Troy Brown had to run an option route in that if the safety was one place, he goes the other, or vice versa. Before the play, Tom tells Troy, run the out. It's type of route. So Troy runs the out, and it was incomplete ball because he was double covered. Anyway, we wound up winning the game on an interception from the defense. So the defense won us the game, but the offense had the chance to win it. And Belichick has a history, he's notorious for having a highlight, low light. He takes the top 5 plays that won the game and the top 5 plays that lost the game. So before the meeting, Troy's just second and sees like, I know this some bitch gonna wear me out. He gonna wear me out because I ran that out route, and I don't know if Tom's gonna stand up and say nothing. Nobody ever does. And keep in mind, it's my fifth team, so I'm like, no, I ain't never see nobody do nothing. So Charlie Wise, Belichick, the receiver coach were all ready to wear fucking Troy Brown out. It's like some guys on this team, coach, are doing their own thing. Yeah, coach, they're doing their own thing. Man, that's the kind of stuff that tears a team apart. Blah, blah, blah. They get to the play. Now, on this play, we got an option route. So who runs what? What are you supposed to run on this? And the receiver coach said, yeah, coach, that's an option route. We went over that for the last 2 weeks, blah, blah, blah. And Charlie White started to chime in, and Tom stood up and said, hold on. Wait a second. I told Troy to do that. When I tell you, you could hear a fucking mosquito fart. It was silent. They was ready to wear Troy out. And I've been on 5 teams by this point, and I had never seen a quarterback stand up for a receiver. I was in Kansas City. Gerback would have sold his ass out. I don't know why he did that. Tom stood up and said, I told him to do that. Now, he didn't have to do that. He could have just let Troy drown and that's it. But I promise you, when everybody heard that man do that shit, Tom became the leader that everybody respected, and that's why they won 5 more Super Bowls.
Wow.
Because that's leadership. I, as a defensive player, said, I'll follow that man into the fucking fire. I don't care. That's balls. Because he's laying his career on the line for that guy. He don't know what Belichick's going to say, and Belichick's the head coach and GM. But because he had enough juice from winning the Super Bowl the year before, he did step up and become the leader. But that's why he walked out of New England and went right to Tampa and won the Super Bowl. Because the man's a true fucking leader. And that's the reality of life. That's real time. Stepping up and being a hero, a true hero to the guys that you're fighting with. And so I say that to say, just to keep in your perspective of to have that courage. People like to believe they have that courage when they ass ain't on the fucking line. But when your ass is on the line and you got that kind of courage, everybody respects it. No question. So that's my anecdote.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out
how amazing the universe is. Back when I used to watch football, my favorite team was New England, and I've never been able to go to a game and experience that. But I've been able to communicate with somebody that actually played for that team.
That's
So,
better than the game because you only get to see the fucking fourth wall performance on the field. This motherfucker's telling you the reality behind the scenes and what it takes as a man to be successful in any venue, on the field or off. So I could argue what has come together here is nothing short of I don't want to demean from it a minor because I don't want to maximize either, but it's a minor kind of piece of magic or miracle in a sense to have folks who show up here at times who could be from all strata of society and share in the common bond of what it means to be human and or be a man at this time, facing the same trials and tribulations and having to rise to the same occasion to generate the same results and outcome in any venue. Right.
Courage
And of course we have the legal lawful thing, which I think, goes even deeper when it comes to the spiritual idea of it. Right.
Well, the main thing is the spiritual energy that's moving through Paul is moving through this group, is moving the universe. That's what, and us understanding what control we have over our part of that energy. That's the universal sharing that has to transpire. We can't get focused on what didn't happen, who said this, who said that. Men don't do that. Men focus on what the fuck needs to be done so we can build. That's what we do. And we've lost that. My dad, my uncles, that's what they did. Shit got broke, they went and fixed it. Was it pretty? Fuck no. More times than not, it fell apart again. But you know what they did when shit got broke? They fixed it. And that's what's happening right now is our spirits are broken. The system has broken our soul and trying to separate our body from our soul. We have to fix this shit. And that's what draw me and Paul together, because he's got that energy. He fixed himself. And that's the only person he could fix. He's trying to inspire the rest of us to do the same. What I do and how I live my life is how I do it. Be you. So, if you like porcupines running up your asshole, go get you 20 of them. Run them up there as fast as you can. If that's what you like, that's fine. I don't do that. That's your choice.
Endorse that, Stephen. We can't endorse that on this show. Sorry. I have to send that disclaimer right now. That's not recommended for anyone.
Yeah,
do your own risk. Don't do this.
Yeah, I guess not. But, it's absurd. But I would hope nobody would try. But you never know. But whatever it is that you choose to live your life as, God gave us simple rules, man. We don't have no complicated book to follow. Do unto others as you have done unto yourself. So if you don't want to get your ass kicked, don't beat nobody's ass. If you don't want to be fucked around and lied to, don't do it. Treat people like you want to be treated. It's really simple. We got to keep shit simple, go back to spiritual fundamentals and stick to them. And don't waver those for nobody. You come across and you start fucking with me, you getting both horns. I'm not holding back because I have to defend and protect mine. And I'm not going to apologize for defending myself. Now, apologize if I read you wrong, if you was just falling down and I thought you was coming at me, that's another story. But if you clearly coming after me, you clearly trying to take me down, you getting both horns. And that's okay. But be men. Don't be afraid to be who you are. And to the ladies, the same thing. Be the best woman you can be, regardless of how other women, all too often women trying to do what other girls are doing. Everybody look alike. They want you to look alike because why? These gay ass motherfuckers want to look just like you. So they put on that 7 pounds of makeup just like you do. And they look just like you because they want to blend in. They want to act like they bitches too.
These other goofy broads into this indirectly, trying to tell them.
I'm just saying, like, if you look like all these other chicks, well, you ain't. Hey, what they say? You can have a Model T Ford in any color as long as it's black. That's what you're doing. You're all looking alike, and you looking like a dude. And the dude can look like you. I want to see your natural face. I want to see your natural body. Show me. Show me your natural self. Do I like to see you dolled up? Yeah, absolutely. Not every fucking day though. I want to see you when you getting out of bed, because that's when it counts the most to me. When I'm rolling out of bed and you rolling out of bed, I gotta like what I'm seeing. If you got to go put on your toolkit and your tool belt, I mean, that's just like me getting out, putting on my toolkit and tool belt and saying, "Oh, that's what I like to see my husband working." It's like, you know, I ain't doing that. I want to see natural self. Be you. And demand honor and respect, which is what we all should do. Give it, but demand it. Don't accept anything less. And you're okay if you, hey, you don't have a lot of friends, you won't.
One thing about respect.
Go ahead.
One thing about respect that I want to add is, you know, I'm not the type of person to demand respect. I'd rather, you know, be the type of person to give you respect, but I only give respect to those who respect themselves, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Like I can't find myself just like blatantly, you know, giving out my respect to anybody and just everybody, right? So, you know, it's like respect is earned and then it's given, but it's given to he who I believe is able to respect himself ultimately.
Excellent point. And I say that to say I spoke to a group of kids today. Troubled kids. They can't go to school. They're in detention. It's not jail, but close to it. One of the kids was interrupting every 4 seconds. I just beat the kids. I'm just talking to them. I gave him 3 chances. I didn't threaten him. I didn't say nothing to him until he was, for the 3rd time, disrespectful. And I said, I'm here sharing something with you about your future. If you choose to, whatever path you choose for success, but as a mentor outside of your family, I'm giving you this wisdom and knowledge for free. Oh, well, I don't necessarily, I get that from my mama. I said, go home to your mama then. Because I ain't here I'm here to share and sharpen and mentor and motivate you. And so, because you don't need 5,000 events to occur in your life to make you successful. More times than not, it's 1 or 2 events that change you. 1 or 2 events can change your life.
That's facts.
And if I'm here at this moment bringing you wisdom from a place that I've been, not that I'm the only one that can share this with you, I'm just the only one that showed up today. You don't know who's coming tomorrow. But for the most part, more than likely, nobody at the level I've gained to is going to share this with you. So respect me, because I didn't come in here calling y'all all bastards, no good sons of bitches. I didn't come in saying that. So respect me as a speaker. And if you don't respect me, I'm going to check you. Because I don't play that. And if you don't understand that about, well, you don't understand that about me, you're going to learn today. That's what I mean by demanding respect. I'm not, you're right. But I walk in the door giving it. I walked in the door not talking about what you did that fucked you up and got you in this situation. I walked in the door just telling you, you got the power to choose and you got the gift of free will. It's up for you to make a different decision than what got you here. And it hurt some feelings. And that's what you're going to hurt feelings. Because again, not that we are emotional creatures, but men have a very much higher tolerance to operate in the logical and reasonable aspects of life. So we have to stay there. And I'm not saying that if you're an emotional dude, you could be an emotional dude, but the thing is iron sharpens iron. Emotions is a lubricant. When we're trying to sharpen one another, there's no lube, sir. There's sparks. There's
I've had this conversation. I've
Hey,
had
can
those
I segue
conversations
us
with my
back?
kid.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Trav.
If I could, Emmanuel, I just want to segue back here just briefly. What you're saying about some football analogies and Dan Marino and growing up here in Florida in the 70s and 80s and stuff. Rather familiar with some good stories about him and his skills. Now, I don't know what he did exactly for his daily training, but as far as demonstrating his ability, I've seen what he could do back then. Is following a ring as they would move it, and he would throw it almost every time, could nail that ring. You couldn't put that ring somewhere where he couldn't throw it and catch it because he just was that good. So he had a habit of doing something that I would venture to say a creative way of doing his regular routine of training that he developed himself, that made him unique, that made him so great. It wasn't following anyone else's direction, but it was his, but he did do it with his discipline because it was his creation of an effort. So there's that creative effort, and it could come from an emotional source. There's people that have been, told, don't touch that football, you're not a pro. And that says, you want to make a bet? Watch this. I'm going to be the best football player ever. And no one's ever going to tell me not to touch that football again. So emotional response could drive you to that creativity that only you can do and really set you apart in greatness. So I'll yield at that.
No, you're absolutely correct. And just as a kudo to Dan Marino, he's a magical motherfucker. I'm just telling you flat out. The shit he did, that release was ridiculous. I ain't seen nobody with that release other than what you call played in New
Again,
Orleans.
Steve, I'm going to ask you for more qualification. You can't talk about another man's release on this broadcast around these other kind of males. Okay? They're getting all hot and bothered. These audiologists, these life coaches.
Sorry. So, the way he got rid of the ball quickly, is that better?
That'll work.
I'm saying release. It was but he was a magical dude because he had a talent that no one else had. And it literally, when you see that up close, that's what blows your mind at being at that level. When you see people with those talents do what makes them special. That's what makes Pat Mahomes so special, because he does some shit that ain't nobody ever done in the game, and everybody's amazed by it because holy shit, nobody's ever done that shit. And it's like, holy shit, this guy, I mean, no closest is Brett Favre. I got another story about that one too, but that's that point. There was another point where was it the other guy was saying
Me?
yeah,
We were talking about respect. Yeah, I was trying to talk about, I was gonna add to that by, I've had these conversations with my son that I wish my dad. In those conversations, I've realized, like, wow, all my mother could do was beat me, and it made me cry, but I lost respect for her. And I've been able to sit my son down and have a stern conversation, a heart to heart, without laying one finger on him, and watch tears roll down his eye. But the next day he respects me so much more, and that's where, how do men know respect? How can they come to learn respect if it's not from another man, right? I don't think that's something that a woman could really teach a man the way a man can learn it from another man. If that makes any sense.
That gets to another point. The other point I was saying earlier. Yeah, a woman can raise a boy to be a man, but it don't make it a good idea. She can do it, but it's not a good idea because, again, this is us understanding our spiritual connection. Men are the ones connected directly to God. Women are connected as well, just subversively through a man. It's amplified then, and she has to be the amplifier, she's not the original broadcast. The man is the original broadcast. I got beat probably 50 times from my mom. I got beat twice from my dad. 2 reasons. One, when he beat you, you knew it. And I grew up in the days when there was no child abuse, and I was clearly child abused. We opened Christmas presents at midnight on Christmas, and he came out and beat the shit out of me and my brother with a train buckle. And I had Union Pacific on my head, on my face, on my chest. He beat the shit out of me. never opened the present again till he said when it's time. And then the second time was I was in high school and I came home drunk. He that wasn't even a fight. I said, I'll do what the fuck I want to. He said, you got one more time to say that word by face. And I said, what the fuck? And as soon as I said it, pop! When I tell you he was a chiropractor. He straightened my spine. He straightened my mind. He straightened me out. I said, oh, Father, I apologize for my conjecture. May I correct my colloquialisms and straighten them out and speak to you in a way that is far more acceptable to you. I got proper on his ass because that was the time. Now you talking to your son, I do the same thing. I ain't beat none of them. I beat my oldest because that's what I knew. But as I got older and had more kids, I started realizing beating them is not the desire. It's the change of behavior that's the desire. So I focus on who he is and I know who I am in him. And as I know who I am in him, that's who I talk to because he can hear you. That person can hear you as long as no one's interrupting it. Now I got baby mamas that interrupt the shit out of that. So keep that in mind. But as long as you're talking to you inside of him and you know who he is, he will heed every word you say and it'll stick to his soul harder than anything you could ever do. So as long as it's coming from your soul to his, because there's the energy you're pushing, number one. Two, the words is the actual encoding of that energy and how you put that energy into him. So by all means, and it's nothing to say mom doesn't love him, mom doesn't. Mom does. Mom's the nurturer. You're the sharpener. You're going to make him. I say all the time, and again, back to football, you got to watch your game film. And when you watch the film, you can't sit there and say, oh, I could have beat that guy if. No, did you get your ass kicked or didn't you? Because if you got your ass kicked, you got to own that shit. That mother, case point, the only son bitch I went against that whooped my ass was Larry Allen. Keep in mind, when I played, I benched 550 pounds. I was a strong motherfucker. But when I played Larry Allen, Larry benched 700 pounds.
Damn, dude.
When I tell you he pushed his hands in my chest, it felt like a horse kicked me. I was like, oh my God. I said, what am I doing out here with this motherfucker? And then he got Flozell Adams. See, Larry 6'6", bench 700 pounds, 340 pounds. Flozell 6'7", I don't know what he benched, but he was 360 pounds. And that was the double team I'm talking about. I had to take them two son bitches on. And my coach said, because I was in Philly, they said we had to play him twice. The first time I played him, I just started root hogging. I just started cutting his fucking feet. And he's saying the next game, it's like, you're going to have to take that on. Nope. I'm a free agent, Chief. I ain't getting on his highlight film. I'm a free agent. I got to get a job. I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. He said, well, we're going to have to get somebody in there to do. I said, go get him. Go get him. I'm the strongest motherfucker here. You go get whoever the fuck can take that sub bitch on and you put him out there. And if you got to sit me down, you got to sit me down because I'm not going to go out there and go against somebody. That's too much strength for me to go. I can't beat that. I can't beat him at that game. That's my game. My game is I'm a press guy. I'm a lock him out because I got that strong bench. This guy got me beat. But what did I do? I just root hog. I just took out the play and let the linebackers. He's like, yeah, my linebacker was cussing me out. I was like, God damn it, you let that double take, motherfucker. You gotta earn your paycheck today too. So that's just what it is. But that's being real. I had to accept what was good and what was bad. And then I had to come up with another plan because the strongest aspect of me was not good enough for the situation. So I had to do something else. But that's what you do as a man. You find alternatives. when shit don't work the way you want it to or the way it's quote unquote supposed to. Because they're supposed to, and then there's what the fuck happens. And that's why I say about my dad and my uncle. They fix shit. It may not have been right. They didn't know. They just did what they had to do to make it work. So those are the things I say when we truly empower each other. We got to be frank, direct, which is what I love about Paul. He pulls the rubber off. He goes raw with everybody. he don't hold back. If you coming at him sideways, he's gonna give it to you. So, but if you ain't man enough to take it, find somewhere else to be. Because this ain't the
SP
place
now
for you.
power about that. He's down there now whining in chat that I'm gay because he was flexing fruit with his background, his artificial background, because he doesn't want us to see he's at his mama's house and not working. And it's distracting as all get out. So I threw him in the fucking back. So he's going to get in his pride and ego and start flexing fruit and get upset when I throw him out because it's distracting as shit. Steve's talking, we're talking, and you're holding shit up to the screen, having to be seen. You need attention. So I gave you some. Threw you the fuck in the back. And now you want to start calling me gay. And who's gay, bro? The guy who threw you in the back or the guy flexing fruit with an artificial background while Steve's trying to tell you how to be a fucking man and you're not listening to a goddamn word when you could probably use it more than anybody up here? Hello? Right.
He's got a mangina, and his mangina has been hurt. So that's just what it is. And it's okay. Like I said, that's a hater. Yeah, notch it on your bedpost.
It's an undercover hater. It's a coattail puller. That's what I told him the other day. He doesn't get it. And he tells me, I respect you, Paulie. You obviously don't respect what I do because when I set the boundaries and try to achieve the wishes, you do everything in your power to do the opposite of what I ask. That's an undercover hater or someone operating under that toxic bitch logic. Right? And that shit has to be checked and redirected. And I'm not going to put my hands on him. I don't beat children. I just have to course correct them over and over again 1,000 fucking times until they realize what's beneficial for all of us. That's why I'm the best online metaversal daddy ever.
Hey, it is what it is. Again, everybody's got to wake up and find themselves. Once you find yourself, then you can find where you need to go. We're all here and got a purpose from God, and we got to find that purpose and move into it. When you move into it, the like-minded wills will find their way to you as well, because God's going to put us all together and take us on this grand journey through life. And if we don't learn how to make the most of this and be in the moment, because I say this, football again, what the Chiefs have mastered in winning Super Bowls is they know how to win the moment. They're not winning statistics. They're not winning fandom. I mean, they circumstantially are because they win the game, but they win the moment, and you can watch it through each playoff game. Baltimore should have beat the shit out of them. But what did they do? The guy they was talking about, they can't catch a ball, Marquez Scanlon, they paid him $17 million, whatever, and some bitch dropping shit all season long. But what did he do when they needed it the most? He caught the fucking ball when it counted. So all your statistics and shit is literally for Vegas. The actual game is won in winning the moment. So when it presents itself, are you ready for the moment when it happens? And it may be one of these shows that could be the dialogue. Oh, Joe Rogan's watching this. And this may be the show. Are you ready for the moment? And then when he calls you, say, hey, I want to bring you on my podcast. I'll get you in front of 30 million people. If you're not ready, it's going to pass you. And that's how God works. You got to prepare your life for the moment. And the pure and virtuous, being of virtue, being of honor, being of class, dignity, and whatever good energy you have to share with others, that is what God wants you to do. So do it. And that means humble pie. Go ahead.
Stephen, I'd even venture one even step further, that not just the moment for the game, but the moment for the greatness you spoke of. Because even, I mean, back to what you were saying about Dan Marino, busted knees, yet still greatness. No ring, but no one's going to accuse him of not having the value of greatness to this day.
Oh,
So,
Yeah,
it
he's one of the
depends on
greatest
how
guys
you're
I've
going to assess that. And I would say that regardless of the Super Bowl ring, I would say that that's greatness.
no, and that's the other thing. The other thing is that people get focused on how many Super Bowl rings. I played football.
Come on, Steve. Forget about all that. Just sing it with me. All right? I know you know this one. A moment like this, huh? Kelly Clarkson? This
I
is
don't
for
know
the.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, come on, Steve. We've all danced around the house and sung Kelly Clarkson a time or two.
I
haven't
do
we?
not. No.
This is for the folks who were into Nathan Sanders and others. You're not gonna. Okay, you're not. You know what? Forget it. You're not gonna be part of this.
Yeah, I don't.
I thought I had a special moment, a moment like this. Some people wait a lifetime for it, but whatever. Not for everybody.
I'll just say that I played high school football, won 3 state titles when I was in high school. Did not win any bowl games in college and did not go to any Super Bowls. But I have this wisdom and knowledge from my 9 years of playing, 10 years of being in there to share.
Steve, excuse my Talcott. He's getting antsy. Yeah, my Talcott. You can see him there. He's getting antsy. He does the hand yapping thing.
Oh,
right. Because he's like, blah, blah, blah. Success, success, success. Materialism, shallow, worldly stuff. Have you tried living without fear? Have you tried ending wars and legal secrets? Have you tried living in love?
Are those questions to me? Or are you talking about Talcott?
Come on, Steve. You don't know. You're not. Okay, Steve does. I overestimate how much people have invested in this broadcast. Steve's a little too successful. He doesn't somehow have the time to know about Jack Talcott and the rest of the clowns.
You showed him before.
I did. I forced Talcott on people. This is why I don't have many friends, right? Successful or otherwise, because I will force Talcott on you. I will bring him into your existence. Yeah, I showed you. We did the Talcott. Maybe this is because again, it was like we were going hard there. It was heavy, and then sometimes I got to lighten up the mood, and that's what I use that for. Plus I'm past the 3rd hour here, and we got to still do breaking slave news. So I'm scrambling. I'm scrambling for some kind of
bad. I didn't mean to keep babbling. I'll shut the
segue. Yeah, I'm pulling a hamstring. Scrambling for a segue here.
Go ahead.
Audible.
The burden of broadcasting, and plus I don't want to use.
I think it was actually directed
I'd rather you be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and then do like an hour or 2 with Steve Martin. I don't want to, overexpose you. I'm going to use you. Like you're an NFL superstar. You're big, you're black, you're handsome, you're famous, you're successful. You're everything I'm not.
I'll take the other part.
Large genitalia, a large bank account.
I'll take everything else. I just don't know about that NFL superstar. I was there.
Listen, you're in the conversation. You were relevant. You were with the greats. Even if you weren't the greatest of the greats, you were with the greats. So you're in the conversation. It's a lot more than I can say for the usual trash that occupies this panel. No offense to anyone up here right now. I actually love these people. Steve left. As soon as I said I love these people that are up here on panel, he's gone. Okay, and this is what I mean, Timmy.
It's all right. You're not.
This has been one.
I swear
that's no reaction time.
He's Italian. Fuck. Every time.
Did you see that quick release? He knew right when to get off.
Yeah, right. That was Steve's premature evacuation. Hell of a quick release. Better than Marino in his prime.
Not even a kiss goodbye.
No, I respect it.
All right, let's refocus. I'm sure Steve got disconnected. He doesn't go out like that. I happen to know that, much like myself.
I've been noticing the StreamYard has been acting real funny. Like, this has been a very riveting StreamYard and very interrupted by all the glitching and the little spiraling loops that go over the. I don't know if I'm seeing it, but I don't know if anyone else is seeing it.
It's you. You've been real choppy when you talk sometimes.
Oh, okay. It's probably my connection.
God damn it, Paul.
Oh, damn it, Emmanuel. He's got that Coco Loco connection. Right? He's working with them people down south. This Emmanuel guy. I know why he changed his name, right? His name's really not like that. He did the Muslim route. I suspect this guy's done some time. He talks about being in the military. He's got a fake name, and he's Latino. All right. I know these people. I'm good at profiling. We're going to talk about some things behind the scenes, Emmanuel. Certain products and services I think we could all benefit from.
South of the border.
Southern products and services. Oh boy, oh boy. All right. Let's get to some fucking breaking slave news here because it's been piling up, okay? I got so much breaking slave news piling up back there. I don't know what to do with it all. So I got to get it off here and now. You're going to take it because that's all I have to offer. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to be real about it. I mean, I got the grim hustle, body language of influence and power.
Well, let's get on with it.
Before. All right, what do you want?
Hit me with that breaking slave.
Here, I got to feed the wolves. What do you people want? Breaking slave news? You want the grim hustle? You want some Bitcoin coverage? Bitcoin's fucking raring to go. It's fucking out of control right now. Altcoins are going to go on a fucking swing. We're all going to be driving Lambos and sipping Mai Tai soon. Andy Taint style.
Before it all comes tumbling down.
I'm one step away from being a Lumatami. Who am I kidding? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. Where are we at here? Tribe just had a disgusting look come over his face. He would never be a Lumatami. Thank you, Tribe. Tribe, one of my biggest supporters, even gets a disgusting look on his face when I even mention the idea of ever becoming like a Lumatami. It's not possible. Even if I was broke and poor in the streets. All right. Breaking slave news. Why the hell not? 104 civilians killed trying to access food trucks in Gaza. We can get into that. We got a police video from San Joaquin Valley as well. We're tyrannical nonsense. We got some Polish farmers, Farmer Revolution Worldwide, as predicted over a year and a half ago. Some might argue up to 10 years ago. This isn't hard, people. We got a spring break crackdown. Let's go to that. We'll kind of keep it light, a little light tyranny, a little bit of slave mocking, a little bit of false power projection. Because slaves are out of control. They're spring breaking. They're fucking. They're sucking. They're ducking the law. And by law, I mean legal, statute, policy, and code. We can't have that. Not if we want to have safety, or at least a feeling of safety. So let's get to it, people. Spring break crackdown.
The beaches of South Florida have long been a spring break destination, but violence in years past is prompting law enforcement to take new action this year.
Come here, enjoy, but don't come here looking for trouble. We've had enough.
That's my statement for this panel going forward.
Enough.
If you guys want to have sex out there and do drugs and whatever, that's fine, but don't come here. I've had enough trouble. All right? I agree with this guy.
Warning to visitors.
You see who he's speaking on behalf of, right? You see his head attire?
People come here.
The gray aliens. He's got a very odd shaped head and ear structure. Very elven for an African American man.
In addition to more
I don't
police
trust
patrols this year, the city plans a midnight curfew, increased DUI checkpoints, $100 parking garage rates for visitors. Beach access will close.
First of all, I don't trust any African American man that puts on that fucking costume there, that clown suit.
In Fort Lauderdale,
you're not really black. You didn't vote for Joe Biden, and you're enforcing policy for the slave master.
It's unfortunate because a lot of college students are 21, and then you just can't get into bars when you're of age to drink.
But many residents say they're thankful for the added security.
I'm glad about the security, and it's good for us and good for the kids.
The cities are most worried about.
All right, enough of that. Steve's back. I'm going to help Joe King out here because Joe King's doing the passive aggressive, pretending I don't know him because the audience doesn't know him. I mean, why would they know him? He's a do-nothing. Never was, never will be. But he's from my Facebook. One of the haters Steve talked about earlier, right? And he's been on me for over a year now. And he likes to show up places and go, who is this guy? Who's this guy talking? What's he known for? I'm the guy that's known for people like you showing up and asking what I'm known for. And then we have a conversation because you didn't check the record. So your thoughts, Steve, on any of that?
On the
Joe King as well. Yeah, Joe
on
King
the,
is a pseudonym he uses. I believe, again, it's a bit of presumption, but I've seen him before and he showed up on my Facebook. These folks, they're really good at games. Sometimes I like to believe I'm even better if I choose to play.
you
may
want to
not
talk
care.
about Joe King or the Florida thing?
You know, there's a Joe King down there, and he likes to use fake names and fake pictures. But I'm gonna one day bring up his Facebook, and we're gonna go through his pictures and how he presents, and it's gonna be a fun time.
Well, I
We
would
have
tell
20
you,
minutes to go.
I'd only give him maybe a fifth of energy. I don't. Again, once you get used to having haters, they're always there.
Oh yeah, no,
And
that was even less than a fifth energy. I just make it look easy, right? That was
okay,
barely anything. You can go way harder than that. You want to see?
nah,
I'll do it right now.
it's up to you. It's
We'll
your
drop it.
shit.
No, I'm
We'll
good.
drop
I'm
it.
good.
We'll drop it.
Yeah, we're cool. We're cool here today.
I mean, I just like I said, every time I hear somebody just throwing a bunch of shit at the fan, it just lets you know, like, okay, I'm making an impact because clearly you're listening to what I'm saying. I mean, you're the one following me, not following you. I'm not following you for a reason because you have nothing of interest. So clearly, I must have something of interest, especially when you keep coming back.
So you're
You keep
basically
coming
saying
back.
there's inherent hierarchical power in value systems, and it usually flows one way.
Well, devil can't create anything. So because devil can't create anything, all it can do is mock and make fun of yours. And if you're mocking and making fun of me, I must have created something that's of interest to you, especially when you make a lot of fun of it. When you spend a lot of energy on following me and telling me how bad I am, I must be doing that much good. Usually 10 times, because again, the devil can't create anything. So all it can do is disdain, extract, and destroy. Well, you can't destroy me because if you don't make an impact in my life on a day-to-day basis, I could give a fuck what you say. And I learned that the hard way from, the media's notorious for, we had this really fucking cocksucker, Jason Whitlock, that was here in Kansas City, and he's terrible because all he did was feed on carnage and just talk about the negative stories. To be from KC, talk so much shit about the team, and it's like, dude, really? But that's how he made his name. But that's why they're mocking his ass on national TV now, because he doesn't create anything. All he can feed on is disdain, despair, and negativity. That's all he can do. So the same thing with any of these people that my favorite, the one dude that told me I was a devil worshiper because I wore Nike shit. I love that shit.
Snafu slave.
Yes, I mean, it's like, dude, you really do have a different.
Where is that
perspective,
warthog
but,
creature?
It's just one of those. It's like you could really do something with yourself if you really wanted to, and you can have a very diverse conversation, and it's very useful, and it can be very productive. But you don't want to produce, so okay, I ain't gonna beg you. This is what it is. So I embrace. I like knowing who don't like me, because they're not the ones I have to worry about. It's the ones that are pretending they like me. Those are the ones I worry about. But when they just come right out and say, I don't like you. Okay, great. I know where you stand. That's my 2 cents on it.
All right, where do you want to go with this? I say we hit the breaking slave news and then call it a day.
The boss, the Grim Hustle boss.
All right, I'll give you the Grim Hustle. Guy's always on me. He's always over my shoulder, this tribe guy.
What's the Grim Hustle?
Look up from your phone. Get up from your gamer's chair. Straighten up. Did you ever look at yourself? Look crooked, like a maggot. Technology has made you a creep. Technology makes you look pathetic. because it perverts your body language from an upright man or woman to a crooked worm looking down. I will give you now the body language of charisma, power, and influence. Number 1, stand straight and upright. And don't get stupid to no one and nothing. Shoulders to the back, chest to the front, into the wide world. Number 2, do not cross your arms. Do not cross your legs. It short circuits your energies. Stay open. Stay in command. Number 3, keep your symmetry. Never lean too much to the side. Never lean too much to the front or back. It's just like in martial arts. If you don't stand firm on your both legs, you are a much easier target for a takedown. Number 4, when you stand upright, keep your chin down. You are tall, but humble, just like in boxing. A high chin will make you cocky, like an easy target. Humility is honor. Number 5, let your whole body speak, not just your head. The problem with the modern world is overthinking, too much focus on your head. But charismatic body language comes always from the whole body. Start martial arts and you will see how this will bring your whole body back to life. If you speak and act with your whole body, people will really understand you. Number 6, move slow. It is a subconscious indicator for power. In ancient Rome, you could see who is slave and who is master just by how fast somebody moved. Let your thoughts move fast, but your body be calm and powerful. And finally, of course, number 7, do not interrupt your moves. Every move, every gesture you start has to be finished. Just as every venture you start, it has to be finished in a good way. Always move in calm way and let no one interrupt what you have started. I repeat, no one. This is charisma. This is power. This is influence. Be honorable.
Yeah, Tribe loves that grim hustle guy, man. Gets him fired up.
Well, I disagree about number 6. I'd say in the context of boss and slave, that, yeah, moving slow would convey that. But in a context of team or cooperation, I think everybody's supposed to move at the appropriate speed and power, you know. So that one context perhaps, but I think in many other contexts, I think that like Stephen was saying, you got to be able to move fast, you know, and you can't be all slow and think you're the boss in the game like that. So it depends on context. And I yield.
Right. I think the idea behind it is that it's tempered and measured, and that the action comes from a place of clarity and peace, and, you know, being able to respond accordingly without having furtive movements, right, or defensive or insecure standing or relationship to oneself and the environment. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think it necessarily was about the speed, you know, without context. I think it's, again, something we've viewed on the panels. You know, some folks can weather the storm and be measured and tempered and get down to it, and other folks are kind of furtive. They're all over the place. They're in and out. They're here. They're there. They're gone. You know, they can't seemingly, you know, go through all things with some level of consistency toward attainment. So it's the common theme we discuss here. It makes sense. It's proper instruction motivates people. I would prefer we talk a little bit more at times about the man and woman relationship and relationship dynamics, but we know how that's gone in the past. I tend to get the rap of destroying relationships, and I'm doing the quotes right now in the air. You can't see me. You can't. So
Yeah, I don't
right,
think it's a destructive thing other than really looking at other perspectives, because as Stephen was saying, a lot of the repetition by rote is stuff that's been programmed by others, and rediscovering truths and then reassigning how you're going to do these kind of repetitious training is probably another way of looking at even relationships, which, I think we could all attest to that over time requires that type of, perspective where things are going, because conditions change. And remember, conditions are for things that aren't certain, and the future is never certain. And I'll yield.
All right, let's hit the breaking slave news. Let's do a couple of them. Satisfy the headline, and then we'll move on with the day, whatever that consists of for you and I collectively and individually. Let's see here. No, I'm selecting. I'm selective about the headlines at this point. No. Father Time remains undefeated is the quote. Emotional Mitch McConnell to step down as Senate GOP leader, probably because he's been freezing like a fish stick at all the latest meetings and events. It's never good for politics and political parties. So that's a good call on that.
My goals when I was narrowly elected to the Senate back in 1984 were fairly modest. Do a good job for the people of Kentucky and convince them that by doing so, they might rehire me for a second term. That was it. That was the plan. If you would have told me 40 years later that I would stand before you as the longest serving Senate leader in American history, frankly, I would have thought you'd lost your mind.
This is how I suspect
I have the honor
Alcott's
of
speech is going to
representing
go.
Kentucky in the
He's
Senate
about to get evicted.
Longer than anyone else in our state's history.
Brothers and sisters, I know I've frozen like a fish stick in the past. I know I've routinely said, "Where am I? What's going on?" I don't know what I mean. I know I've even asked, "Is this real?" Directly in the middle of conversation about the facts of the matter. But I just want to let this audience know that I have found a great source of accomplishment and pride as serving as the longest standing non-life coach who lives without fees and does not work or pay any bills. And then he takes a graceful exit and we all kind of move on and we figure out who the next fool chimpanzee is going to be who steps up to play that position.
I like how they boast about the fact that they've been there in perpetual all
Emmanuel,
these
please,
years.
You're talking over Mitch, okay? He doesn't have much time. Not only is he going to die soon, but he might freeze up any minute. He's like one of those old diesel engines, you know? Sorry, you were saying? I don't want to be rude. No, go ahead. No, please.
No, it's just funny how these people can boast in your face. It's funny how they can boast about how they've been there perpetually all these years, but the people complain how they don't put any term limits on these senators. I yield.
Manuel, like logically analyzing any of this circus show that has become modern day politics. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Well, I don't really watch news much. I don't really watch news much, but once I watch it, I kind of my eyes pierce right through it. So I'm just calling
it's a complete freak show asylum. Let's just put it that way.
Yes, we got front row seats.
Much like these panels.
That happened. When I arrived here in 1984 at 42, I'm filled with heartfelt gratitude and humility for the opportunity.
You should be. We fucking took care of you.
But now it's 2024.
I just want to say, after 40 years of service, you people have offered me nothing.
Ecclesiastes tells us, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven.
If he says he's going to go off to end wars and legal secrets, I'm cutting this broadcast.
The honor of my life to lead my Republican colleagues has been,
I believe, that ending wars and legal secrets, the proper course of action.
But one of life's most underappreciated talents is to know when it's time to move on to life's next chapter.
Yeah, nursing
So I
home.
stand before you today, Mr. President, and my colleagues, to say this will be my last term as Republican leader of the Senate. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. However, I'll complete my job.
That's so.
My colleagues have given me until
Comforting.
we select a new leader in
I'm not
November.
going anywhere. I will now,
They take the
going
helm.
forward, be in
Next
charge
January.
of greeting people at the door.
I'll finish the job that people of Kentucky hired me to do as well,
That I will wear.
albeit
will open the door
from a
and
different
close it.
seat. And I'm actually looking forward to that.
Could we vote as to how many people are actually going to miss
Time for
this
me to
guy?
think about.
Excuse me, please, Emmanuel. I'm not going anywhere. I will be continuing doing live broadcast format on YouTube with my associate, Mr. Jack Talcott. It's a life coaching endeavor.
I think we're going to mention how demonic it is that this guy, the only reason he refuses to retire is so he can continue to do evil to the American people.
Is there a question in there?
Yeah, I mean, isn't it clear that he's that demonic, that's the only reason he's staying in power is so he can continue to do the dastardly deeds he does? There's like no one else.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're like the agent who gets the task of having to investigate corruption between like Jeb Bush and Mitch McConnell, like having to monitor just hours and hours of conversation between two people like that? It's drive you out of your fucking mind. It's almost as bad as listening to a slow state broadcast or Ian China, as the warthog creature so eloquently presents.
It's the perfect shield.
Fascinating.
Impenetrable.
This is like our head of communications, by the way. This essentially politics is like your communications department of your business. It's like your public relations. It's the most monotone, just broken, corrupt, dead energy all around, or it's just put on, false strength. Yeah, it's amazing, amazing. All right, let's get on with it. I don't know where the hell Steve went. The white man's after him. I can relate. No privilege here, people. So, Steve, good night, Mr. Martin, wherever you are. If you don't wind up back, I won't take it personal. I'm sure that you're not upset. Probably some tech issues, and you're probably over it. I know that I am. But such is life. We press forward, and we don't let these people get us down or interfere with our purpose and meaning. All right, 2 Hells Angels clubhouses raided in California, Central Valley. I don't know why these things are in the top news list, but hey, I don't write it. I just report it, as you know. Let's get to that. I want to see how the clowns indicted themselves by putting on costumes, admitting they're part of a criminal RICO organization. These aren't the brightest folks in the world. Let's be clear about that. I mean, you guys could have just done whatever the fuck you were doing and just not called it a group and a gang, and you probably would have been okay. Maybe 1 or 2 people here and there goes down. But once you say, I'm a Hells Angel, and put on a goofy costume and declare yourself to be a gang, you just did yourself RICO disservice. So you folks might benefit from watching the Paul and Slade broadcast. That's right, people. Come on down, Hells Angels, Mongols, all 1%ers. Yeah, I got what you need. A little legal, lawful in your life. Figure out the jurisdiction. Get your shit together. Okay? That's why you folks could benefit from a Irish-Italian council from the East Coast. I won't tell you how to do crime, but if you're going to do it, I'll tell you what it looks like to not get caught. That's right. And that's not illegal. Not going to tell you how to do the crime. I'm just going to tell you what it's going to look like to get caught and what it looks like to not get caught. You do with that information what you will. Not legal advice. Okay. That's my shameless promotion and plug. Barely 100 people just heard, and we're going to get on with it.
Major operation today in San Joaquin County and Stanislaus County. Clubhouses belonging to the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. They were raided by the cops.
Yeah, there were
Well.
raids that were reported. One in Turlock, another in Stockton. CBS 13 Story Apodaca is getting answers on what authorities were searching for. Tori.
Yeah, what did they find in there?
Started circling and those sirens blaring at around
He
7
found an
a.m.
extremely large set of teeth, Emmanuel.
Up here, boarded up walls and windows.
Almost looks like Lauren De Laguna proportions. I don't want to get into it.
It's still unclear what any of those Hells Angels members were inside when these raids happened and why they were being searched to begin with. SWAT swarming the Hells Angels clubhouse in downtown Stockton. The Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office leading the multi-agency raid, but what they were trying to uncover still unknown.
I'm just walking through and I seen this and I'm like, whoa, what's going on?
Smashed
Whoa.
glass and a whole lot of
Is
unanswered
that Brian
questions
O'Shea living in a
left behind.
Cavalier? Late
I
90s?
heard a lot of
What's going on here?
which is not something you hear every day, but it was ongoing.
Michael Gomez works down the street from here and sees the bikers out in front often.
Hells Angels has a reputation, but I mean, from what I've done walking by every day, I never noticed anything. They're actually nice people. They say hi to me.
The Stanislaus County Sheriff's Office only giving us little
I
insight.
do a
into
broadcast.
their
I'm just here for the
investigation.
meth. I'm not a Hells Angel.
Were in
All right,
relation
Tommy,
to
let's
quote,
go. We've heard it all
acts of
before.
violence involving outlaw motorcycle gang members. But we're told armed officers searched multiple locations from San Joaquin to Stanislaus counties. The FBI also involved. We waited until the caution tape came down and we watched one man go inside the building.
I own the building, so I know what happened, you know.
He also didn't have any answers for us.
I never seen no issues or anything like that. So that's why I'm shocked that they're all out here.
Now the
All
Stanislaus
right, so all
County
we
Sheriff's
basically
Office is
learned
still working.
from the media propaganda is that Hells Angels not so bad people. They've been around there forever and there hasn't been any problem. Still the police came in. So you make that what you will, I guess, huh? All right, give me the final
Notice
words.
how-
Let's go roundabout.
Really quick, a comment on that is that they first referred to him as a what was it, a club, and then they said that they were a gang. So it's actually a PMA is what they are, classified as legally, which means that they could actually have an agreement that isn't fully in accordance with any laws as long as they don't get caught doing it. So their organization is actually perfectly legit as what she referred to as initially a club, but then she disparaged them, by calling them a gang, which I thought was a little bit biased for a news report we'd expect from something like Fox Noise being so fair and
Right,
balanced.
because when you have a motorcycle club, which is classified as such, potentially to avoid prosecution, and you associate with known criminals, aka violators of legal policy and code and procedure or lawful activities, then you will be classified as a member of a criminal organization and you will be up for RICO charges. So
And
again,
they don't go.
it really doesn't much matter if you call yourself a motorcycle club. If you hang around people who all identify as one group and they're known for shooting people or being shot at or pushing drugs or using them, they're going to start to tie you in their system, whether you like it or not. And you can use that defense, but it's going to be a lot more difficult when they start to make the ties and connections and they have a banner or umbrella organization with titles and structure and status and past history. So it might be time for a rebranding, if you will. How about Live Without Fear? No, follow me here. The Live Without Fear Angels, brothers and sisters. Okay, let's get Paul right out of there because we're really about love and light. The Live Without Fear Angels. We live without fear. We do drugs. We don't sell them, but maybe we gift them to each other from time to time. We really don't shoot at people unless we're being shot at. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, but with that being said,
it's not a club anymore. It's an idea. Individuals can live with ideas, but, clubs, I mean, that's groups and that's, a lot comes with that.
I think what I was getting at is that the individuals are responsible for their own personal actions, not the club.
Well,
Until
the club could.
you make yourself voluntarily part of an organization, then you're a representative of that organization.
Yeah,
Well,
the club
as long
is
as
not
you-
vouchsafe of getting its doors kicked down unless there's significant amount. There's got to be enough of evidence for the military police to be kicking down doors like that. They ain't as good as they project themselves to be in that case, if they are a good organization or not.
Well, nothing's about being good or bad. I'm just saying it's the reason it persisted for so long is because they've been clever about how they do it. But again, like Paul said, it's really disguising something that's more of a criminal nature.
I am coming to tell you the missing legends of the Hidden Temple lost Tribe's head. We need Tribe's head back. Tribe the bitch. Bring your head back immediately. The Legends of the Lost Temple is going for a rerun. But until you bring your head back, we are in a situational fuckery card. So bring your square head back. Tribe the bitch.
The contestant that never made it out the temple.
Tribe, why is your square head so fucking square?
Tribe, your
Continue,
thoughts?
Tribe. Continue, Tribe. I'm just here listening to Tribe the bitch. Go ahead, continue. I yield.
Now, is that like a pet name for him? Tribe the bitch? Is that like in high esteem? Is that in the?
Well, it's just realistic optics. He's a bitch that calls himself Tribe. Tribe the bitch.
All right, that's an opinion. I don't know if are we allowing opinions?
I guarantee
here
if you
right
did
now,
a
or-
poll and say it's Tribe a bitch, they'd pretty much say yeah.
Right. You proposing that poll be taken?
Well, I mean, it will be a little off and on because they hate for snafu.
And I'll give my final words, Paul. I'll give my final words right now, Paul, because this could be dragged out for too long.
Yeah,
I thought we were ending it right now.
Tribe, why do you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
do
yeah.
final words?
So I
Why
want to say it was
running
nice
away,
having
Tribe?
nice to
Why
have the
you running
reminiscing
away,
moment
Tribe?
with Stephen Martin
Why are
and
you
you
gonna run
and
away,
all the
Tribe?
old people here.
Why are you running away, Tribe?
And salute.
Tribe the bitch! Coming to a city near you. I'm out.
Oh man, my warthog creature's on the loose today. Whoa! Oh man. Okay, that's got too big. It's shocking. Coming back to see that large hippopotamus. This really is a National Geographic. We got a white gorilla, we got a warthog creature, and a large pale hippopotamus
Oh my goodness.
type creature.
Yep. Rare form.
Hold on, is that Joe King now? Do we have Joe King?
Yeah, shout out Joe King.
Joe King, what happened, man? Where did we go wrong? You and I and you.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Hello.
Are you gonna show your dick?
I mean,
Not that
are
we want you
asking
to.
once again.
You're
Oh,
muted.
Joel.
Nah, Joe's cool.
Hello.
Testicles, 1, 2.
Come on. You might want to
We
turn
hear
your
you.
mic
We hear
up,
you.
bro.
We hear you.
We can hear you a little bit. Yep.
Was this the guy asking who I was speaking?
Yeah, I guess so.
I think he was asking who Steve was because he was asking what team Steve played on and all of that. So I think
So
the
is
question-
it possible then? Okay, because again, we have a guy who this is what gets crazy here. I have a guy who calls himself Joe King, who also calls himself that on the Facebook. It's not this guy. So if this guy is a different Joe King going under the pseudonym of Joe King, and it threw me off, and he's asking who is Steve Martin, then that's a predictable sort of error on my part. Is that what we have going on here, sir? Case of mistaken identity.
Yeah,
Okay.
my last name actually is Kirkendall, and I'm not on Facebook.
Yeah, because I
anymore.
was searching for that kid's pictures before because I was going to bring him up and roast him here because he's been here
Right.
before. And so, yeah, it was a case of mistaken identity, and I have Officer Snaps on the case. All right.
Gotcha.
So
No,
you
I
have
like
nothing
the
to worry
NFL,
about.
man. It's the programming I still like. So
Okay, that's Steve Martin. I always add NFL superstar on the end in order to promote the broadcast, right? Because people are into that type of shit. But it's just Steve Martin, and he played for I forget the Dolphins or the Colts or I'm not a football guy.
That's what I was thinking, Tampa Bay or something like that. There's a guy named Stuart Schweiger that used to play for the Raiders that I talked to. He has a show.
Yeah, that's not I and Steve's bond. Is not me idol worshiping him and what he does. I'm not a part of it, and that's what makes it all the better, right?
Yeah,
we have a more authentic bond.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Enslaved one, man. I like how you go about your stuff, man. It's pretty entertaining. I can see that you got a lot of influence from Howard Stern and stuff like that. Because I know
even after I yelled at you.
Me, yeah, I don't give a crap. Yeah, that's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
Starting level of focus and discipline. Thank you, sir. For
Yeah, I
displaying
have
that for everyone.
I actually have a job. I'm leaving my job right now. I'm a plumber.
Well, don't use that word here or at the Talcottian one's place. You'll get thrown right the fuck out. That idea of having a career and being successful and self-sufficient, or at least sustainable, is very uncomfortable for folks who lack accountability and responsibility. I know I was one for a long time.
You know, people are fascinating. Man. Brothers, sisters.
Give me a Talcottian final word. And then I think, you know what, because I just switched my outro. I'm calling an audible at the line. Steve would know all about that. That and quick releases and double and triple teams, as we heard. So I'm going to, just completely superimpose a Talcottian outro today for everyone, because I think that we can rejoice in the experience that is Jack Talcott. We can find the positive.
Right. But, and I also, though, is that Snafu playing the old Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom theme song?
No, that's me. I'm playing. Yeah, that's me. I'm playing that. That's the intro music for my Warthog creature. I have various aspects of broadcasting that you will see other places because people will borrow freely while assassinating my character. So if you hear like certain things, the Tonight Show intro, some other folks play that started here, there's other things.
Nice.
That's why I'm the god of all media, right? Let's just get right down to it.
Do you think that everybody should acknowledge their Howard Stern is learning a lot from anybody on any of these screens? It's got to be heavily influenced from Howard Stern. Would you agree with that one, Paul?
Yeah, I think that if anything, the base level of Howard Stern's influence is just creating something on the radio that resembled a free-flowing, free-form conversation with observe and report dynamics and a bit of comedy, right? So it kind of gives way to what we see now. And again, not necessarily the first and only person who've done that, probably just the more well-known, more household name. So again, a lot of this stuff has been replicated from the beginning of the invention, of these tools. It's all borrowed from, it's all replications of, there's nothing new under the sun. And then there's just, I guess, having enough humility to admit when you borrow or, when great minds think alike, so to speak. There's a little bit of this and that at times, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And you got it down as far as getting everybody to listen and stuff too. The only thing I'd say a little bit, if you give a shit about what I think, but just a little more of your sense of humor come out a little bit more,
I thought I was letting out too much, and you're telling me come out of the shell more. See,
a lot of folks
are telling me go back in and go on heroin again.
Well, I don't know. I mean, just like I have never heard you like laugh out loud or anything like that. I've seen you. I can hear humor in your voice sometimes, but people like that. People just kind of gravitate toward that.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I'll take that into considerations.
For sure, buddy. Yeah, man. I just wanted to get a hold of you and say what's up, and I'm always supporting you. And even if you got a bunch of bums on your panel, no, just kidding.
Oh, Peanut Power's not here, and Christos is probably cooking something or waxing the cucumber in the back.
Yeah, I'm getting the
He's a
eggplants
fruit and
ready for
veggies
these
guy.
slaves.
Christos, my buddy.
Raw.
Right on. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna listen to the rest on the way home. I'm driving. I'm in Carson City right here, driving around. That's the capital. If you see that dome right there.
Carson City, Nevada. It is Nevada, isn't it? That's where they had the Con Air land, huh?
Yeah, man. Yep. You got all kinds of weird stuff over here, man. This is a trip. This place is a freak. freaking trip. Yeah, I got a bunch of videos about it and stuff like that. I just go out, take my camera out, and film trippy places and stuff, and museums and all that kind of shit. Yeah, man. Cool.
Your thoughts, Christos?
Oh, see if you can see this real quick.
I think Joe needs to turn up his mic unless he's about to leave. But it was great to have you.
Yeah, I think I can't hardly hear off my phone, so I'm not.
Tú eres al mío, 23, si te conozco. 23 cargos de violación.
Mira, un corazón para cada mis 23.
I don't know. I wanted to play this clip, but the more I play it, the more I feel they're going to hit me with copyright. I'm very limited what I can do here. You should feel bad for me. My genius has been restrained.
I'm half Hispanic, so I can translate a little bit.
Are you waiting for one of us to bring up Talcott?
Oh, you just brought up Talcott. All right, folks, give us the final words. I knew I'd get you son of a bitch. Give me the final words, because we're going to go to outro, and then you people got other places to be. Other loser failures, pretending to be life coaches. It can't just be all me, right?
More Paul, less everybody else. That's what Jim Rome used to say. More me, less you is a good thing.
There you go.
All right, fellas, I'm going to get out of here. I'll be listening.
All right, Joe King. I appreciate correcting the record and recognizing my error. Even the god of all media at times is known to make an error, so it can happen.
And I appreciate you having me out.
Between. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
All right, well, go ahead. Give me the final words, and then I'm going to pick my outro Talcottian video to rejoice with the audience.
Much love, brothers and sisters. See you next time.
Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate
It was a pleasure.
You, sir.
It was a pleasure, Tim.
All right. Later, man.
Stay hard.
Yeah.
I got nothing, man. I'm terrible with goodbyes.
Yep, stay hard. One love.
All right, well, it's not goodbye. It's see you later. Now get the hell out of here.
Later.
I love you, Emmanuel. All right. Peanut Power, let's go, kid.
All right, I'll see you later.
That was strange. Didn't sound like him. Peanut Power, is that you, or is that your feedback? Or is someone pretending to be you? I don't know who would pretend to be you. Be a very sorry individual. Look, I'm insulting you now. Subliminally. Or unconsciously. Come on. All right, he's gone again. Jesus Christ. All right, I'm out of here, people. I don't have time to continue to play these fucking games. Peanut Power and others, get a job if necessary so you can get all the equipment you need to do a better broadcast with me so that I don't rip my hair out of my head and wind up looking like Jack Talcott. You know, fucking business up front, casual out back. You know, he's got the Mr. Clean up front, Cheech and Chong out back. It's like, let it go, Talcott. You know, like the family, like the child, like the horrible failure career. Just let it all go. Okay? Take the hair with you. All right. I'm getting to the fucking meat here, the broadcast, the meat and potatoes, what really matters. Okay? Life coach of all life coaches. The most ironic, comedic, interesting, entertaining, beautiful yet ugly experience that is Jack Talcott. Very reflective and mirroring of myself in many ways, as you may know. But yeah, with that said, I appreciate you folks being here. We'll be back tomorrow, as always, somewhere between 12 and 3 MDT, because I don't miss, barring some act of God or the state. And by an act of God, I mean, of course, heart attack or stroke runs in the family. Okay, it's a bit of a concern. So, yeah, I'm out of here. Mazel from out west, Unslave One out, and coming soon, new series of Jack Talcott, starring in his sitcom premiere.
It's not me, brothers and sisters, it's you.
The birds chirping in the background, seeing the spring growth starting to come through, really enjoying the day. And the thought came to me as I reached down to pet my little kitty. I said to her, "Can you believe this is our life?"
You know, and can you believe that there's a magical, mystical God who loves us? Who's with us? She remained silent, of course, the kitty, but I carried that thought through, and I do believe that.
No one told you that was gonna be this way.
Hey, asshole, mail something, why don't you?
Please untie me and let me go!
For all those people who were afraid of me, I'm just saying. There's nothing to fear. No one seemed to care whatsoever. I'm like, hey, let's get together. Let's end wars. Let's see what we can do.
Many who have found their way into this panel of mine truly don't give a fuck about what I want.
I'm totally alone, man. Like, what?
God, it feels good to be me.
Oh, who am I kidding? Nobody has cared to learn about me in several years. God help me, my life is a joke. I miss people. It's been almost 6 years.